Hey guys, what's up? Stefanie, the English coach here with another Facebook Live. Today I'm doing a Q&A session. So Q&A stands for question and answer, or questions and answers. And I just thought I would do this, in case you guys have any questions about English that I can help you answer, or anything you're struggling to understand. I would love to help it make more sense for you. If you need some strategies for how to improve your English, that's what this session is about. But besides all that, it's also for me to just be here, hang out with you guys, and if you guys have any questions about me or what I'm doing or the English Island group or whatever it is, I just wanted to hang out for a little while and say what's up. So hey, I see some people are already checking in. Tell me in the chat box where you're checking in from. What's your name? Where are you from? Let me know, because this is always really fun. We always get people from all over the world, and it's just pretty awesome. So welcome everybody. Welcome everyone that's checking in. Welcome to the Q&A session. I hope you guys came prepared with some questions you want to ask me. If not, then think of something really quick and go ahead and comment and ask in the chat box. You can ask something that is related to English or how you can improve. You can ask me anything. If you want to know more about who I am, if you want to know more about what I've done, what I do, let me know, and pick my brain. That's a term we use in English, meaning when you meet someone that knows about something that you want to know about, you can pick their brain. You can ask them questions to learn more about what you want to learn more about. So you can ask me stuff about traveling. I do a lot of traveling. You can ask me stuff about working online. I know a lot about working online. There are so many opportunities in the world, and I'm kind of like a research junkie. That just means I love researching. I love Google. Google is my best friend, kind of, and I just do a lot of research. So I guess I'll just start there. I'll give like a little lecture about how awesome Google is while more people are checking in, and then maybe we'll get some questions that I can answer. So Google is pretty much like the best thing that ever happened to me. I tell people that if Google could give me a degree, like an actual degree for studying, by now I would have probably gotten a degree in psychology, in marketing, in business, in finance, in so much. I love Google. I love reading blogs. I love going to websites and learning from them. And YouTube is another one. You can learn so much on YouTube. It's incredible. You can learn entire languages on the internet for free. I mean, you do have to be really determined, because a lot of times people are used to teachers teaching them, and so they just want somebody to tell them what to do and how to do it. But if you are determined, you can absolutely learn anything you want on the internet, just by doing it yourself. That's also why I call myself the English coach and not Stefanie, the English teacher, because a teacher just sort of has information and they give it all to you, and then I guess you're supposed to learn it. And a coach actually questions you. A coach is going to hold you accountable. A coach is going to say, like if you ask me a question, what's the past simple tense? I might ask you, well, have you looked it up? Have you Googled it? Have you researched it? Have you done this? Have you done that? Because I know that the best way to learn is actually by doing. So you may think that the best way to learn is by having a teacher, getting the information from a teacher, but it's actually not. Because if you're just listening, you're just using one of your senses to learn. You're not using all of your senses. When you actually do research, okay, you're using a lot more of your senses. You have a problem, you're trying to solve it yourself, and because there's so much more of your brain involved in absorbing that information, you're actually more likely to remember it. So that's why I also created English Island, and I'm doing all this stuff that I'm doing, as I want to give people the opportunities to research English on their own, to look stuff up, and then to have a place where they can speak with other English speakers and practice. Because to get fluent in a language, you really just need to look stuff up, do your research, and practice, and that's it. You could do it with or without a teacher. I know people who have learned English and they're fluent in English and they never had a teacher, they never went to an institute or anything like that. And the incredible thing is usually these are the people that get fluent in like 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, because they do it all by themselves. They don't wait for a teacher to teach them. They just do it themselves, and that is the best way to learn. The best way. And I'm not putting down teachers by saying this, because teachers are important, you know, they do help, but I still have my opinion that the best way to learn is just going out there and finding the information yourself and learning. And then when you have a question, then you go to a teacher. Like if you've done all the research and you still don't understand something, that's when a teacher is, you know, necessary. So Ahmed's here. Hey Ahmed, how are you? Let me see. He says, Ahmed from Syria. I would like to ask you about articles a and. I would ask about the pronunciation, how we use them. I would like to know ask you about stenography. Okay, stenography, I don't even know what that is. So we'll go with the other ones. I could always look it up and Google it. A lot of times people ask me, oh, that's okay, don't worry. You said go instead of hi. A lot of times people ask me questions and they use the correct terminology, and I'm a simple girl, okay? I never studied English in the university. I didn't study linguistics. If I want to know about stuff, I study on my own. I studied Spanish in the university, so I know more technical words for grammar-related stuff in Spanish. But anyhow, so it's fun. But let's go to the articles a and an. Basically, you're going to use a in front of a word that starts with a consonant. So a car, a house, okay, a bus. You're going to use an in front of a word that starts with a vowel. So an ice cube, an eagle. I'm trying to think of these words off the top of my head. An apple, okay? Now, when we pronounce them, we don't always say a. Sometimes I do, like a bus, when I'm speaking very properly, but a lot of times we just say a bus, okay? A bus. And that's, again, my accent. My accent is the Californian accent. People around the world speak English differently. That's how I say it. So a bus or a bus. An apple or napple. Okay? And what am I doing when I say an apple? I'm just going, I'm making the N sound. It's made in your throat back here. Actually, well, yes and no. It's a nasal sound, okay? So it's made in your nose and throat. Apple, an apple. And those little tips, those will help you guys speak English a little bit more fluently. They'll make you sound a little bit more like a native speaker if you can speak that way. Now, you just have to pay attention to when people say a bus or a bus, because it depends what is being emphasized in speech, because communication is so much more than pronunciation. It's, you know, your tone, the words that you stress and emphasize. So, for example, you know, someone can say, how is Susan gonna go to the park? Oh, she's gonna take a bus, okay? And then they ask you again, how is Susan going to get to the park? And you say, I said she's going to take a bus. Okay? So sometimes when you have to exaggerate something to get a point across or to make people understand more, then that's when maybe you pronounce everything a little bit stronger or more clear or something like that. Okay? And then, yeah, so we talked about everything there. Great question, Ahmed, by the way. Let me look up stenography, because I don't know what that is. Yeah, and this is what I do in life. If I don't know something, I just go Google it. Okay, stenography is a form of shorthand typing done on a special machine which makes it possible to produce simultaneously a verbatim transcript, for instance, in court. Stenographers also work alongside. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I have heard of that actually. What did you want to know about stenography? So, yeah, you said you wanted to ask me about it, but you didn't say what you wanted to ask. So go ahead and put your question in. And then you also asked, can we use them with nationalities and with subjects like she is a smart teacher? Yeah, she's a smart teacher. Notice I just said she's a smart teacher. So I'm not saying she's a smart teacher, okay? She's a smart teacher. So that's actually how we pronounce it most of the time. Then with nationalities, we actually don't say, well, let me think about this. You could say she's American, or she's Swiss, or she's German, or she's Chinese. You can also say she's an American, but you wouldn't say like she's a Chinese. You would say she's a Chinese woman, or he's a Russian man, okay? For some reason, American, you don't have to say she's an American woman. You can just say she's an American. But, oh, Maria's working, so she can't hear me. I'm so sorry, Maria. I wish you could, but you can check it out later when you get home. Maybe next time. I try and do my Facebook Lives at different times during the day because I know we're from all over the world, and, you know, some people are sleeping right now, some people are working, some people are doing, you know, whatever. So that's why I try and make it so that people can come, you know, at least once a week or something. Okay, cool. No, don't say she is smart teacher. No, you do have to say she is a smart teacher. She's a smart teacher. He's a good boy. He's a bad dog. It's a good day. So you do want to use the article there. Hey, Nadia, how's it going? Okay. Okay, so online work. Nadia, do you want to know like how to find online work? Do you want to know what's out there, or do you want to know what I do online and what I've done online? I guess I'll just go over both, but feel free to specify. I started working online a few years ago, actually. When I lived in Sacramento, I used to work as a private tutor. So I had my own students, and I would go to their homes and work with them. But sometimes they would call me and say, oh my gosh, Stefanie, can you tutor me? I have a test tomorrow. And I'd say, I can't go to your house today, but what if we do it online? So then I would Skype them and I would tutor them. And that's when I started realizing, wow, you could work online, make money, and not even have to be physically with somebody. So that sort of opened my mind. And then when I came to Argentina, I wanted to work. I didn't want to get a job here because I knew, even though there were people like saying, oh, go work and teach English over there, go teach English over there, I didn't want to, because I knew that if I did, I wouldn't be able to travel. And travel is very important to me because my family lives in one part of the world, my other family lives in another part of the world, and I just love to travel. And you guys, we have the internet, you know, so we're not, no one is obligated to work in one space. If you can use Google to learn how to work online, I mean, I Googled everything. I was like, how can I work online? What kind of jobs are available? And I just started researching and finding stuff, and there's a lot out there. So one of the jobs that I got was as an English teacher for a startup, which is a company, but it was like a baby company, a startup in New York. They wanted to become like a global company teaching English online. It didn't work out, but you know, it was awesome because I got to teach so many English classes. I did over 400 hours of classes with professionals from all over the world, and it was really fun. And that's when I realized, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people that want to learn English, and it's really important, you know, for there to be online English teachers, because some of you guys can never, you know, speak or have a native English speaker unless someone in your country happens to be a native English speaker. It's difficult. So the internet opens a lot of doors for everyone, for me to teach, for you guys to learn. And then another job that I had, I worked as a writer for a company. There's lots of jobs online, you guys. So if I were you, I would Google what kind of jobs, you know, you could do online. There's a lot, especially also if you're self-employed, you can create, you know, your own type of work and you can find your own clients. You're going to probably have to learn about social media marketing, so that's a good thing you should Google. Yeah, so lots of opportunities there. And then the websites that I would recommend for finding work online, Craigslist.com, and then go to like your country, because Craigslist is a worldwide website. You have to be careful though, because there's a lot of inappropriate stuff on Craigslist also, and some sketchy stuff. So just make sure that it's sketchy means like people could be lying to you. They could say like, oh, there's this job, but really it's not real. So just be careful. And Craigslist, and then Upwork.com. That is a great website for working as a freelancer. So you guys, if you know English and your language, this is something that makes me so excited for you, because you guys automatically can become translators, okay? You can become freelance translators, you can become, you know, you could work for a company or whatever it is. You can do translating, you can do transcribing, okay? Transcribing is where you listen to an audio in English or your language or whatever it is, and then you just type what you hear. That's all you have to do. You type what you hear. So that's an opportunity. So translating, transcribing, and that's just if you know English and another language. If you have other skills, you know, just know that there's tons of work online. So let me go to other questions. And Nadia, let me know if I answered your question or if you still have more, okay? So then Ahmed said, it's 5:12 p.m. here. I was going out, but I saw you online. I decided to watch you and got later. Oh, cool. Well, thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me, Ahmed. So you're a smart teacher, I guess. Well, I hope so. And then Ahmed said, no problem about sonography. I will do a research about it on Google. Okay, cool. So now, guys, I have a question. There's only a couple people that were asking questions. If you don't have a question, that's totally fine, but please comment, tell me where you are checking in from. I want to know how many people we have from around the world. So Ahmed said, I started learning English when I was 22. I didn't know any word then. I got lost in the first 10 lessons. I learned English because I wanted to travel to Arab Gulf countries where I must speak English. There. Wow, Ahmed, and how old are you now? Because if you started when you were 22, how old are you now? How long did it take you? I mean, you just wrote an entire paragraph in English. That's impressive. I love hearing stories like that, you guys. It's so inspiring to know that people can teach themselves a language. I know because Ren does it all the time, my husband. So Ahmed's 30 now. Cool. So you've been studying for 8 years, and I'm sure you've been, you know, it only took you a few years to get where you could have conversations with people. But Ren studies a lot of languages. This guy is crazy. He studies, I'm not even going to remember all of them, but he studies Russian, German, French, Italian, Portuguese, Romanian. He studies all the romantic languages and then some other ones. It's crazy. So that's his thing though. That's his hobby. He loves studying languages, and it's so cool because he downloads apps and he just uses these apps to practice the words. And Ren is the kind of language learner that does not like grammar. He will not study grammar. He learns by listening to native speakers and, you know, playing on these apps and just putting the words in order. And he finds the patterns in the languages, and then he just speaks them. It's incredible. When we went to Italy, all of a sudden he was speaking Italian with everybody, and I was like, honey, where did you learn this? But it's because he practices just by himself. So I asked you about, Ahmed says, I asked you about pronunciation. I didn't study all these years. Okay, well, yeah, and pronunciation, it's just something that you do have to work on. You know, you have to, you know, practice it. You can get really, really good at it. Okay, Ahmed said, you mentioned a website about translation. I didn't get it. Could you post it here, please? Yeah. Let me see. Give me 1 second, you guys. Okay, I don't remember the it's not a translation website. It's just a website where you can get work. So one is Upwork.com and one is Craigslist.com. Okay, so just check those out. And I have a question for you guys now. My question is, how many languages do you speak? Okay, so you speak your language and you speak English, so that's 2. So put 2 if you speak 2, and put more than that if you speak more than that. I speak 2 languages. I speak English and Spanish. I speak like 2 1/4 languages. I speak some Portuguese, but not that much. Okay, so that's one question. So Ahmed speaks Arabic and English. Anyone else? What languages do you guys speak? Okay, so while you guys are typing in your answers for that one, I have another question too. What is one of your biggest goals in life? Hey, Seda, 3, Turkish, English, and some German. Nice. Michael says, I speak 2 languages. Why the sad face, Michael? That's awesome. You know how many people in this world only speak 1 language? You're ahead of all of them. And Spanish and English, Michael, those are like besides Chinese, like the 2 most important languages in the world. So it's not like you speak, you know, I don't know, 2 languages that no one knows. That's awesome. All right, so the next question was, what's one of your biggest goals in life? Okay, really like think about this. We all have dreams, we all have goals, and I am a huge believer in goal setting. If I don't have goals, I get depressed. I feel like, why am I even alive if there's nothing that I'm working for? So I always have goals, and I always have multiple goals. So since I was 15, my goal was to come to Argentina. I came, it completely changed my life. I met my husband here, and then I got depressed. I was like, well, now that I reached this goal, what goal am I gonna have? And so then I went searching. I did some soul searching. That's when you look inside yourself and you think about what you want in life. And then I came up with some new goals. So Seda says, my biggest goal is making career in university. Yeah, that's awesome, Seda. And you're going to be able to do that. And once you accomplish that goal, then you're going to be able to make a new goal. Awesome. So what do you want to study in the university, Seda? What do you want to go to college for? What degree do you want? So here's Alan. Hey, Alan, what's up? He says, hey, Stefanie, I speak 5. Oh my gosh, we have a polyglot. Is that how you say it? Polyglot? Polyglot? I don't know because I'm not one. Anyhow, we have one in our group. He says Spanish, English, French, Portuguese, and German, but I do have some basic knowledge in Chinese, Russian. You, Alan, you need to talk to Ren. Ren is one of the admins in our group. He's my husband, and he's just like you. He loves languages. It's awesome. My goodness. Alan, how did you learn all those languages? Did you learn them since you were a child? Did you study them on your own? I mean, like, tell us your secret, because a lot of people are struggling just to learn English, and you speak all these languages. So Michael says, my biggest goal is graduating from medicine. Awesome. You know, Michael, I always tell people if I had like 20 lives to live, in one of those lives, I would be a surgeon or a doctor or something in the medical field, because I am so fascinated by medicine and the human body and everything like that. But the truth of the matter for me is that, like, if you want a medical career, you pretty much dedicate your entire life to that. And there are so many things that I love, you guys. There's so many things I'm passionate about that I'm like, okay, I just have to choose like 1 or 2 things, and I just have to do those. And that's how life is. You just pick a couple things that you're really passionate about, and then you just do those, and then everything else can be like a hobby. So since I'm passionate about, you know, medicine and all that, maybe I'll watch like The Doctors or a show where I can sort of get that out of my system. Anyways, that was a tangent. Michael, I'm happy for you. Okay, Ahmed said, my goal is to learn English perfectly and get TOEFL and have my own house, have my own business, learn a profession, study in university translation. Very cool, Ahmed. You have multiple goals. That is awesome. That is so good, you guys. Seriously, this is the best thing you could do for yourself, is have goals and know where you want to go in life, because it is absolutely possible to make this stuff happen. Now, I probably would be more skeptical about the possibility of making dreams come true, but I've actually done it. I've done it on many levels. And so I know that as long as you're focused, as long as you have goals, and as long as you work towards them every day, you're gonna get it, okay? You're gonna get it, but you also have to be careful to not get distracted, because there's lots of things in life that can distract you and take your time away, and everything you do that's not related to your goals takes you further away from your goals. Yes, of course, we do have to relax, we do have to have fun and enjoy life too, but just be careful. Make sure you guys go after these things, because this is amazing. So Seta says, hopefully English linguistics. Awesome. Linguistics is a fascinating field of study, you guys. It's amazing. My sister studies linguistics, and she's actually graduating from California State University of Davis in this June, I think. And I'm so happy for her. And she tells me the stuff that she learns because she knows I love languages. And so we talk about how many languages there are in the world and how they've evolved. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, you guys know, right, that language, like, well, I'm sure you know that language evolves, but have you ever thought about how crazy it is, how it evolves? Like, if you go 100 years back, English was different everywhere in the world than it is today. If you go back 200 years, English was different. There's words that we don't use anymore. There's accents we don't use anymore. And if you go back 1,500 years, I don't even understand that English. I've had to read in Old English before for classes, and it's difficult. I don't understand it. So same thing with Old Spanish, Old English, every old language, it's like outdated because language changes. So, Anderson. I almost said Anderson again. Don't worry, we had this conversation. I know how to say your name. He said, after I have the complete capacity of speaking English very, very well, I am thinking in learning German too. What do you think about that language, Stefanie? Okay, Anderson, it's a language. You're mixing Spanish with English there, but that's okay. I think it's fantastic. I know that English and German have similar roots, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you to learn German after having learned English. I say go for it, you guys. This is what I hope to do. I hope to inspire all of you to not just learn English, okay? That's not the end of the road. Learn English, then learn another language, then go travel, then, study at the university, go make your career, have fun, have a family, just live life to the fullest. That is my motto. So, Ahmed says, but I really like to learn a special profession and study something special like stenography. Well, I definitely think that you absolutely can. And step one, Google it. I mean, that's the only, once you know more about it, then you'll know, what to do and where to go from here. So, Ahmed also said, I want to study something special not many people study in Syria and learn a special profession not many people study in Syria. That's actually really smart, you guys. That's very smart from a job or career standpoint, because if you study something that's in high demand and you are one of the few people that knows how to do it, then what happens? Then you're able to make more money. So good thinking. Jose says, oh, Ahmed, if you wish to join a course in futurelearn.com, there are a lot of good courses in English. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Jose, for reaching out and helping. You guys, there's so many resources online, and a lot of these courses that people do, they are free, okay? There's a lot of websites with free courses. So Future Learn is probably one of those. Then Ceci, hey Ceci, what's up? My goal is to talk fluently in English, finish my college and obtain a scholarship. Awesome. Ceci, where do you want to study? Do you want to study in an English speaking country? Okay guys, and then the other things I want to tell you, for those of you that want to go study abroad or, live in an English speaking country, there are many, many ways you can do this. You can become an au pair. I don't know how to say it, but basically if you're young, this is usually for younger people, then you can go, you know, become a nanny or something like that for a family that lives in an English-speaking country. You can do Workaway. Workaway is awesome, you guys. Look it up, workaway.info. You can live with people and you can help them in exchange for room and board. Room and board is living with them and being able to eat. So essentially you don't have to pay for anything except a plane ticket to get where you're going, and then you can actually just live in an English-speaking country and go like on a tourist visa or something like that. So I mean, there's so much you guys could do. Ren and I did that in Ireland, and we were in Ireland for like a month, and we only spent like $20 the entire time we were there because we had everything taken care of. We had a place to stay, we had food, we didn't need anything. And we would ride around on bikes, like if we wanted to go visit other little cities and stuff. So that's one of our secrets for cheap travel. Okay, Anderson says, my biggest goal is to be a mechatronic engineer. It's a pretty fantastic career. Wow, that sounds fantastic. I've actually never heard of that before. I don't know what I mean, I was thinking you were going to write mechanical engineer, but maybe I'm just not familiar with this. Anyways, all right, Ahmed says, but I'm depressed and I have no chance to study and learn in Syria. I'm suffering of terrible neck pain since 2013, and my country has been in a war since 2011, unfortunately, but I'll do my best to reach my goal. Yeah, you know what? I hate to say it, but it's like life can be crazy. Life can throw a lot of curveballs at you, things you don't expect. Sometimes the economy's up, sometimes it's down, sometimes there's wars, sometimes there's no wars. And at the end of the day, we all just have to figure out how to make it. This world is crazy, you guys. This world is really crazy. I don't know if you've noticed, but it can be good, it can be bad, it can be all things, and we just have to find our way through it. So just keep it up, Ahmed. I know you'll be able to reach your goals. Just stay strong, okay? And relax. I don't know why you're having neck pain, but maybe you're stressed. Maybe you need to relax. Anyways, Nadia says, my biggest goal is become a writer so I can motivate others. Nadia, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you know, a lot of people, there's a lot of ways you can accomplish that goal. You can become a blogger. Bloggers write. You can become an author. You can write your own books and publish your own books online. You can write ebooks and you can sell your own books. I mean, there's a lot that you can do as a writer. So that's very awesome. So Jose says, and all of the courses are free if you don't want a degree. Yeah, Jose, that is incredible. The fact that, you know, you guys can study these courses on these websites that, you know, you posted and that we share in the group. And it's all free, you guys. We can study so much for free. And here's another thing. There's also paid courses where if you don't want to, you know, pay the full expense of a university degree, you can still pay for a course in something else and, you know, become an expert in that field. And, you know, then you can do something with that. Like I paid for some courses to learn how to do business online because I learned a lot from Google, but honestly, like it takes a lot of time to do research, and so I didn't want to have to do all the research, and I basically paid for some courses to be able to cut corners. Cut corners means like taking a shortcut. So now instead of having to spend 20 hours researching one thing, I bought a course that just teaches me exactly how to do it. So that's helpful. And now I'm going to be making my own course where I can help you guys get fluent in English. So let me see. Alan says, well, I started learning English when I was 3 years old. And my family is French. So French Argentine, so that is the reason I speak Spanish and French. I have some relatives in Argentina who lives in a German colony. It is my German side. I took some German lessons when I was 13 years old, and I used to have a German girlfriend. So it was really useful to me. I started learning Portuguese when I was like 19 years old. And I do teach myself almost anything because I love being autodidact. Yes, I think it's autodidactic. I don't know. But anyhow, me too. Me too, you guys. And here's the other thing too. By the way, Alan, that's a really cool story. My mom speaks French, English, and Spanish, and my dad speaks German. and English and Spanish, but they only taught me English. So I could have been like this multilingual girl, and no, but that's okay. I don't want to hold it against them. They did a great job raising me. And let me go back to what I was going to say though about this. Oh, yeah. And something else really quick, I'm going to interject about myself, guys. I don't like to pretend I know everything. You know how some teachers, they like to know everything about English and all the grammar and all this stuff. There are some things I can't explain. There are some things I don't know. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I don't know something, I'm going to say, I don't even know what that is, because I'm not ashamed to not know. I don't care. If I don't know, I'll figure it out if it's important to me. But I think that that's important for you guys to know, because I want to be honest about my background, my experience, who I am. I'm not a teacher with a PhD in English that can tell you every little thing about the language. But if you do have a question, I would be more than happy to research it, figure it out, and be able to give you the answer. So in a way, it's like what I'm trying to say is we're on the same level. Like, I am a learner just like you are a learner, okay? And I just teach what I learn, and I learn as I teach, and etc. And yeah, I'm going off topic again, but it's just important for me, for you guys to know that, because I don't know, I think it's just good, if that makes sense. Okay. So Ahmed said, I already joined a free course online for Syrian people. I have many resources to improve my English online. I can't travel because most of the countries around the world stopped giving Syrian people visa since the war began. Oh, okay, well, times change. So hopefully times will change. And, we'll see. Like I said, guys, this world is crazy. Okay, Alan says, my biggest goal for now is to get my bachelor's degree, international business, and I would continue studying medicine or engineering because I love science. Woohoo! Go science! Agreed. Okay, Ahmed said, I met many nationalities in UAE who speak English, and I do talk and type with native English speakers from Canada and USA, but I don't understand British accent. You know what? Sometimes I don't understand British accent either, so don't worry. Okay. Anderson said, Stefanie, mechatronic, I can't pronounce that, is the union combination of mechanic and electronic engineering here in Colombia. It is a career. It is everything about robots, but I want to be a master in the, automotive industry. It's incredible. Really, really. Cool. Well, thank you for that explanation. See, we learn something new every day, you guys. Okay. Now, I have another question. Really quick, yes or no answers, just yes or no answers. Do you speak English daily? Do you speak English with someone every day, even if it's a different person every day? Do you use the language verbally daily? Okay, yes or no? Let me know in the comments. I'm giving myself like a break. I've been talking for 38 minutes without stopping, you guys. Okay. So we have a no, we have a yes. Let's do this also. If your answer is yes, who do you speak English with, or why do you speak English every day? How are you able to incorporate that? Very cool. So far we're 50% yes, 50% no. All right, so very cool, you guys. Well, I just wanted to know, I know some people they're able to, maybe they have to for work. Some people aren't able to because they don't know any English speakers. So that's just me taking a random poll right now. And then I want to remind you guys that everyone in the English Island group, it wants to learn English, wants to practice. You guys, there's amazing people in there. So take advantage of the Friday thread when it comes out, the Friday mixer. And if you put no here, for example, like no, you don't speak English every day, then that thread is for you. That thread is for you to be able to say, hey guys, I want a partner. I want somebody that I can talk to in English. I want to make a friend. And and if somebody is looking for a partner, comment on, their post, or I'm sorry, they're within the Friday Mixer thread, comment on their comment, reply to it, and say, hey, me too, I'm looking for a partner. And then you guys can exchange WhatsApp numbers or whatever it is, and you guys can just start getting to know each other, okay? So Gaston says, hey, good morning. My problem is that I read a lot of English, but I don't speak usually. And Gaston, I get it. I totally get it, because that was me. That was me when I was learning Spanish. I would read in Spanish, I would listen to a lot of Spanish, but I would not use it. And the reason a lot of times we don't use the language is because we don't need to. Maybe you live in a place where you don't need to use English. You don't need it for your job. You don't need it to live comfortably. You don't need it for anything. You just like it. And you'd probably like to use it, but maybe you don't even have friends that you could speak English with. Or if you do have friends that speak English, maybe they don't want to speak English. Maybe they prefer to speak whatever language you guys speak. So I totally get it. And that's why I think it's great to, to have this group that we have, because you can find people with similar goals, and you can find people to speak English with every single day. Nadia says, I speak to myself, LOL. Then I speak to my friends and English Island members. Yes, Nadia, I'm so glad you're taking advantage of English Island. You guys, it makes me so happy to see everybody communicating in there in English, because I know that 3 months ago, English Island didn't exist. I only created it like in February or January. So to be able to see everybody coming together and interacting, it's amazing, because 3 months ago you guys didn't know each other. And now you can WhatsApp each other, you can be friends, maybe you can go visit each other one day. So anyhow, Andrea says, not daily, but yes, I try to use it. And fortunately, I have found the English Island, woohoo, go English Island, where I have found English speakers who want to improve their English language. Yes! Ahmed said, I suggest we make WhatsApp group of island members. Okay, yes and no. Hang on. Woo! Okay, so this is the thing, Ahmed. If we just made a big group, there's 600 people on English Island. That is not going to be an effective WhatsApp group. You need like 10 people in a group, or 5 people, or something like that. But you can't just have anybody. Like, what if you don't like the people? Or I mean, we're all a group. We're all going to be nice to each other. But you want people that you'll be interested in talking with, right? So that's why I made the Friday Mixer thread for you guys to post your ads of, hey, I want to make a group, or hey, I want a partner. So do it like that. Find people in the group that are posting really cool comments, and then say, hey, I'd love to make a WhatsApp group. Would you like to be in it? And then you can reach out to people directly as you see who's commenting and who's active and who says something, who says nice things, because, again, having a WhatsApp group is not the same as having a WhatsApp group with people that are actually dedicated to learning English, and they're really going to help each other and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So do it. But be careful about how you do it. Make sure you get the people you want in there. Yeah. So, excuse me. Alan says, I speak in English with my international friends. One of my best friends is English and another one is American. Oh, that's convenient. That's another thing. You guys need to use the internet to make friends, to make native English speaking friends. And right now you may think, oh, but how can I even find these people? It's totally possible. And I have a lot of suggestions, but I could talk about that for 5 hours, and I don't want to make this longer than an hour. So I won't get into that now, but if you want to make friends on the internet that are native English speakers, what can you do? Well, you have this awesome resource, the English Island. You can post in there and say, hey guys, I want to make friends that are native English speakers online. How could I do this? What are your suggestions? Because there are people in the group, like Alan, that have friends that are native English speakers, and I'm sure they can give you some awesome tips to finding, these people, and not seeming like a creeper or a crazy person saying, will you be my friend? Oh, that's another thing, you guys. I wasn't going to get into this, but I get these crazy requests and messages from people that are like, oh, I'm so glad I found a native speaker. Now we can be best friends. And I'm like, who do you think I am? Like, why would you even say that? And then they write me and I have to block them because it's inappropriate what they do. It's like harassing, you know, they just come at me and they're like, oh, you know, now I'm glad I found a native English speaker. Now you can teach me English. And I'm like, no, no, I cannot. And it's just funny because I don't get how these people think that's okay. So anyhow, that's just a mini rant. I won't get into that too much. Thank goodness most people don't do that, but there's a few crazies. All right, and so then thanks guys for answering those questions. Now, I want to know what you guys think about the challenge that I just started yesterday in the group, okay? The hashtag challenge, because I noticed you guys are going crazy with it and I love it. Everyone is posting, you guys are responding to each other. Isn't that awesome? Like, let's be honest, doesn't it feel good to have all of that interaction in the group? And doesn't it feel good to have other people posting, not just me? Because before, you know, I love posting, but I was the only one. And I really want to get you guys to feel comfortable with posting. And I'm doing the hashtag challenge to show you guys what the group can be used for, how you can use it. So for example, this random question hashtag challenge that we've been doing for the last 24 hours, those kind of random questions, you guys can actually post in the group all the time. You don't need a special challenge to do that, but you can use the hashtag random question, you know, just so people know that you're just practicing your English, you're making a random question, etc. But this is why I'm doing the challenge with the hashtags, to show you guys what you can post in the group, and how it can be used and how fun it can be to just create these random questions and ask them. And other hashtags I'm going to do will involve pictures. Like, you remember how we would do like selfie posts and stuff like that? I'm going to make a challenge where you guys have to do stuff with pictures, make your own polls, etc. So you guys can really practice posting in the group and putting out all this fun stuff. And hopefully after this challenge, you guys will know exactly how to use it, and it'll be really fun. And then it can just be, you know, something that you don't need a challenge to do. You'll feel comfortable doing it. Anyways, Ivan says it was great. Of course, it's nice to talk to each other. Yes. All right, guys. Okay, so those were questions I had for you guys. Does anyone have any other question for me before we wrap up? Like, do you want to know anything else about English? Do you have an English question? Do you want to know more about me, who I am, what I've done, what I'm doing? Ivan, yes, TV series, that's a good one too. That's actually a good question for you guys to ask. Someone, I mean, post in the group right now if you want. Say, you know, what's your favorite series and why? And then hashtag random question. And oh, just so you guys know, after you finish the challenge, you're supposed to post your question. You're supposed to respond to at least 2 other questions, and then you're supposed to put done. You're supposed to put done in the thread that said hashtag challenge. I think only a few people have actually written done, but that's part of the challenge. Yeah, so Ahmed said I asked about punctuation and how we use them. Do you mean like the period, the exclamation mark, the question mark, the comma? Hey Luis, how's it going? This is the longest stream I've ever done, you guys. So Luis, I just asked if anyone has any questions for me about English or about me, what I'm doing, blah, 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 etc. Okay, and so Ahmed said yes. Okay, Ahmed, that would be a huge lesson that I'll probably have to do another time, but basically, cool, Alan, yes, I'll keep making more challenges, don't worry. I'll make them harder and harder. Okay, so basically punctuation, if you're asking a question, you know, you put a question mark. If you're saying something or if you're writing something and you want to show excitement, you put an exclamation point. You have to be careful though not to overuse the exclamation point because then it can sound like you are yelling at somebody, okay? And then the period is just after a statement, but commas, for example, and colons and all this other stuff, that's a huge lesson that I'm going to go over another time. Okay, so hello dear, says Ramatullah. I hope I said your name right. It sounds cool. Ahmed said, what do you do in your life? Whew, big question, Ahmed. My life is constantly changing. So I work and I travel. That's what I do. I work and I travel. And previously I would work for companies, other companies doing online work. Recently I quit working for a company. I was working for an American company in a sales position, and I quit because now I am building the English Full-Time Online Academy, and it's it's a big thing. It's going to be like a 3-month program where I'm going to help people get fluent in English, and there's going to be lots of projects. So like the hashtag challenge, you know how that's like a little challenge? I'm going to be making projects that people have to complete with group members individually, that are aimed towards getting you fluent in English, making sure you're able to interact with people at the professional level. So I'm creating that course, and I'll probably launch it like in August or September of this year. So that's what I'm doing right now. And yeah, travel. I live sometimes in Argentina, then I go to California, and Ren and I, we just go everywhere. So Nadia said, how to build our confidence to speak English. Sometimes I feel very stressful and become stuck when I cannot find a word to express what I mean. Nadia, I am so glad you asked me that, because this is a huge problem for many people. There's like a small group of people that, you know, don't ever struggle with confidence when speaking foreign languages. I am not one of those people. I struggle with confidence, even in Spanish. With some people, I feel very comfortable and I can say anything. And if I don't know how to say it, I'll just ask, you know, how do I say this? But I don't get embarrassed. But sometimes if we're speaking in certain situations, if we're speaking to another professional or something, if we're using English for work, it can get very stressful. So as far as building your confidence, the simple answer is you just need to practice. The more you use the language, the easier it's gonna get, okay? So that's the simple answer, and that's, again, something I'll be talking more about in other videos. Ramatullah says, where are you from? I am from California. So Sacramento, California, that's my hometown, and it's beautiful. Okay, Anderson says, you're new here, right? Ha ha ha. What? Is that for me, Anderson? What do you mean I'm new? I'm new where? I'm not sure what you mean. It seems to me that you haven't been here joining the previous videos. Oh, is that for Ramatullah? You should probably tag the person you're talking to. Okay. Oh, you guys, I have an announcement. I'm on Instagram now. Is anyone on Instagram? If you're on Instagram, put yes. Put yes. Tell me you're on Instagram. Put yes in the comments, and I'll give you guys my Instagram handle. Ah, hang on. Okay. It's called English Full Time, okay? And if you look up English Full Time on Instagram, you'll find it. All I do there is post like inspirational quotes and stuff to really, you know, get you guys inspired to get fluent in English, to travel, to do all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I just thought it would be fun to be on Instagram also, and that's what I'm doing. So definitely find me there, hang out, and I'll follow you guys back. So yes, if you have if you're on Instagram, let me know where. I have another Instagram that's like a personal Instagram, so I may follow you guys with my, you know, my actual Stefanie Instagram because English Full Time, it's more like a business. It's Instagram. It's like a brand. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know how to say your name. I apologize. Doi. I am stumbling in setting up my online lesson plans. It seems I get distracted due to getting too many resources. And you look so nice. Thank you. Okay, you know what? I get distracted too. What kind of online lesson plans are you doing? Are you making like who are your students? Do you have a website? How do you do your online lessons? Maybe I can help you with that. And Erng, is that how you say your name? Luis? Okay. He said, I saw your video on Instagram. LOL. Yeah, I took those down because those were from my old Instagram account. I used to use Instagram just to, you know, learn about the platform. I was studying like social media management, and I was doing my own research by using the platform. So yeah, I took those videos down. Anyhow, back to Dujoy's question real fast. Studying with setting up online lesson plans. I don't know what platform you're using. Maybe if you could tell me more about it, I could give you some advice. But as far as getting distracted due to too many resources, that happens a lot. We call it information overload in English. That just means that you literally get information from too many places at once, and then you get really distracted by all of them, and then you get like paralyzed. You can't do anything. And basically I would just say, you know, you have to use like Google Calendar or something like that. Make a schedule for yourself, stick to your schedule, and do like 1 or 2 important things a day, and just make sure you get to those. So anyhow, then Ramatula says, which times actually you have online conversation? I don't have a schedule right now. I just created an event in the group yesterday for people, you know, just to let people know that I'm actually going to schedule it. I don't know if I'll always schedule Facebook Lives. I may just hop on, but we'll see. We'll see. If I am going to schedule it though, and you know, you'll find out because it'll be in the group. And then if you're watching this and you're not in English Island and you've tried to join, guys, there's an application. Like a lot of people are trying to join and they're not filling out the application, so I'm just not letting people in because I think, you know, I take what I do very seriously, and I would expect you guys to take it seriously too. And if something says, you know, join, there's an application, like you have to read the directions. So not to be mean or not to be the bad cop, but I just need to be careful about who I let in the group right now. Maybe later I'll open it up again without the application. I don't know, but like I tell the people in the group, I've never done something like this before, so I'm making everything up as I go. Okay, so Alan says, I'll send you a request. You'll know who I am. Perfect. Then Ivan says, I watch Rachel Real English videos. Cool. Are those on YouTube? I don't think I've heard of them. I think I've heard of Real English, but anyhow, Dudoy says, for general skills and for some free lessons to promote my channel on YouTube. Hope to receive your advice. Thanks a lot. Let me see. There's a lot that I could say about that. I don't know what your strategy is. Like behind every online thing that you do, you can't just put stuff out there. Like you actually have to have a strategy. So, I mean, maybe I'm sure you know that already. Have you Googled like how to promote yourself online, how to develop a social media strategy? You have to be consistent. You have to do this, you know, you can't just put out like one video a week and then skip a week. Like you have to be consistent. Like if you're putting out videos on Monday and Friday, make sure you always put them out on Monday and Friday. Make sure you're using hashtags correctly. Hashtags are really big with social media and getting your stuff out there online. Skills, free lessons, promote my YouTube channel. And then also having like a call to action. So at the end of every video, tell people, like this video if you like, please share, blah, 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 blah. Like I'll do that right now. Guys, if you like what I'm doing, please tell people about me. Tell people about the English coach, Stefanie, what I'm doing. If you see something on my English page that you like, share it on your page. Whatever it is, because I really want to get more people, you know, to know about what I'm doing, because I don't think a lot of people are doing it, and there's a lot of people out there that really want to learn English, and they don't know anyone that's a native English speaker. So it'd be really cool for them to be able to connect here, to be in English Island. So please like my stuff, share it, help me get the word out there, and I'd really appreciate it. So natural English as well on YouTube. Yeah, that's a very popular one. That's a very popular one. So Ivan says, I cannot connect. Ivan, what can you not connect to? All right, guys. So Anyhow, this video is now an hour long, so I'm actually going to go ahead and end it. My Facebook Lives aren't always going to be this long, but I really wanted to do a Q&A. So thank you everyone for all of your questions. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being a part of English Island. You guys are awesome. I have a lot of fun with you, and I hope everyone has a great day, all right? Take care, you guys. Bye.